Damn bones, damn bones, damn skull and bones, damn bones, damn bone. Oh! Hey! Who are you? Why are you here? Oh, yeah. Oh, I see. My good buddies, the, Ishmael to my Ahab, used to call my sort of feud with St. Anthony's Hall. And again, it became less of a feud and more of like, this is the story of the hurricane. But he called it my white whale, which, is a literary reference that people use going from the book Moby Dick. I owned this nice copy of Moby Dick. It was like one of those replica recreations of like original prints. I have like this. This is the Three Musketeers one, but it was nice. It had like little drawings, and I'll tell you what, I'm getting through 10 pages of Moby Dick my entire life. 10 pages. I've given that book away. Trust me. In my little comedy tour, I was trying to find it, and it's not here. I gave it away. Okay. This is my 4th copy of Gravity's Rainbow, right? I've never read Moby Dick. Yeah, it seems like a big blank missing spot, But I think I know. Like, it's one of those books that you don't know, but you know, sort of. I played the video game series Dishonored, which is an immaculate story. And I think that, taps into the themes of Moby Dick. And of course, it wasn't about a whale. It was about man's obsession, with this abyss, with this Leviathan, his rupturing of the social contract to try to slay that beast that ultimately was just swimming in his own depths, And saying this bone, making a joke of, oh, it's a narwhal bone. No, that was the thing. Back, before coal and everything really started to take off, like whale oil, whales, that was the prime currency. That was, the Texas tea. Okay? And that's what Moby Dick was ultimately about. That's why there's like half of it's just like minutia about processes of whale blubber, and it's Joycean, very Joycean. Again, I owned a copy of Ulysses. I've never read Ulysses. I've gotten through maybe 30 pages. It seems like I really like it, but I haven't. But it's about whale bones. Even there used to be all sorts of knickknacks and trinkets. Fucking even see little icons like this, little religious icons would be printed on bone. Mammoth bone, whale bone, shit. That's why, again, I don't want to. Sorry, please don't think I'm getting into some QAnon territory, but that's often why these rich elitist people, they are literal bone collectors, they, and not just, that, but like, that's why, seeing the Rothschilds and their things, you can, but is actually part of their sickness. People, they like to collect that stuff, so why wouldn't they have, fucking, like a human fingertip or some shit, just like, they pay out the ass for like a crystal skull, things that are rare and elusive, Before we had dyes, I believe bone marrow smudging used to be, used. Gelatin used to be ground up horse bone, testicles and shit. Jello, Jello, it's alive, up until I think the 90s, or even maybe now. There's still a little bit, but gelatin, the powder was made of bone. Cigarette filters would be bone, Hallowed halls and ivory towers. Part 2. Blue blood money. Alright, so before I get into the specifics of my run-ins with the St. Anthony Hall and with what happened to me in 08 and then from Chris Kenny onwards, I just want to talk about the basic sort of frat culture at Trinity. Because again, I wasn't just a client. I was one of the presidents. No, I was a little bit more awkward back then, but you see my, my ribald nature, my loquacious nature, even without the weed and all the fucking tea, like that's who I am. And I was raised by junkies, and I was raised in bars, and then I was also raised in AA and NA meetings. I was just been constantly raised about, like manic storytellers, and of all sorts, So that's why for a while I didn't really know who I was, because I was no one. You know, put on these costumes and I'd just be whoever I needed to be for any given room. And so I sometimes crowds make me really anxious because I don't know what should I be, who should I be. You know, just be yourself. You trust me, you be yourself. You're fucking weirdo. It ain't always everyone's cup of tea, so you gotta play it close to the chest sometimes. You know, not showing what's underneath. You know, not showing your full skeleton. But at Trinity, once I really found my way, my sophomore year, I was the life of any given party. Man, people fucking loved me. People that I fucking hated. People that I would be, you know, my father used to have a saying, and it's one saying he ripped off. It's a, you know, old Irish parable. There's a way to tell a man to go to hell. Then there's a way to tell a man to go to hell and make him look forward to the trip. And that's been instilled in me at an early age to always make people look forward to the trip. That's why I always used to say safe travels as a you know, salutation. So the frats loved me. I didn't go to many though. Again, I never, until 2017, I never stepped foot into the St. Anthony's Hall. Maybe it's because I knew, you know, what was in the belly of that beast, what went on there, you know, and not just because trust me, that went on fucking everywhere. That went on fucking on the dining halls, fucking in the classrooms. Like, you didn't need a safe spot to do fucking cocaine. It was Trinity, and it was Hartford, and we could do whatever the fuck we wanted. You know, I'll get into later why there was just this. You know, they were protected. The elites were protected. You know, they didn't have to see what went down in the boneyard. You know, they could party. Do what they wanted to do. You know, eat their jello and have no idea what it was made from. But I went to many others. Again, I was a Clio member, so the one that was closest to us was this spot called Pike. Again, was really well esteemed. And again, I'm going to say things that speak from both my particular time at Trinity, which as a student went from late 06, actually more or less from late 06 consistently to 2000 and late 2013, because either I was suspended but living on campus, or I graduated. But then even I was still living on campus, working on campus, and you know me, I like to talk, but I really like to listen. You know, I'm that gadfly on the wall, you know, when I'm not feeling the spoons. And again, now I realize because of hypervigilance developed from being, you know, molested as a child, you know, and that's why I'm like, I can bike with music in, and I'm always aware of what's going on around me, even sometimes things that aren't going on, the shadows. I'm always, you see me, you know, I got a little tweaked, but that's because I'm aware of what's going on around me. I have to be. It's fight or flight, you know. And as a child, I knew what would happen if you weren't aware of those bastards that like to wait in the shadows, those fucking sons of bitches. Like do whatever they want to do in basements. Think that they can get away with it. You know, think that people will forget because everyone else is fucked up. Guess what? Elephant fucking tusk never forgets motherfuckers, even if it's not an elephant tusk. Because I know they got them too. I know they got them too. They wouldn't leave them out because that's worth a lot of money. But those ivory towers are literal. Okay, guarantee you. All right, baby elephants were killed for these motherfuckers at the hall. And not just the hall of them, and it's kind of like, oh, well, you know, they've changed. No. From the stories I've heard from the 90s, from the 80s, from the 70s, from the 60s, from the 50s, from the 40s even. And again, I used to always be at all the reunions where I'd have to fucking suffer through all these old fucking fucks telling their glory days stories. And oh man, look at my life. I'm a lot like you. And I can listen to like 5 conversations going on at any given time. And like, not just like let's follow. And when you follow these conversations, often you pick up on incidental connections that are made, like certain words. Like even again, the Kubayashi thing, the usual suspects things. Like, that's why I surround myself with a lot of stuff, and my storytelling is really just based on fucking, you know, butterflies are free to fly, fly away. In words, things, phrases, people start to share. They don't know it. It happens subconsciously. You see what I'm saying here? You see what I'm saying about what a cult is? because this is what just humanness is in general. So if you have an institution where certain practices are codified, whether it is ironic, guess what irony is no sarcasm is this the weapon of the weak. What was that book? Fuck, I forget what it's called. I read it in fucking high school, but it was kind of good. Separate place, separate piece, something like that. But again, irony is just that covers up the disease, the monster, what was lost, and that doesn't want to be found. So long story short, that would be in many ways what would happen at these fraternities. So they look good on the surface, but they're this slaughterhouse, they're a perpetual machine that perpetuates certain things. I would see similar people, like almost would look the same. You could tell their bone structure was almost exactly the same. And eventually they'd all develop that same look anyway. The Walking Dead, that's why we always love fucking zombie apocalypse literature and whatnot, because it's what's going on around us. And that's why, these bros fall for the fucking us nonsense. That's why fucking Trump, frat boy Trump, he would have loved the hall. The hall, I guarantee you, everyone there was fucking jerking off, circle jerking off when he fucking won. I'm sorry, it might seem a little, well, you being homophobic. No, these fuckers again. Like they would. So it was like not because it's just they're fucked up, and it's this bacchanal, Great Gatsby, Rome before the fall sort of shit that you see Catholic Church kind of, and that's why suffer the little children sometimes is not a goddamn fucking metaphor. It's what happens with these fucking sick fucks, which is why when they're not held accountable in the little frat houses and the little castles made of sand, and shit really starts to from crumble. So all these places, I would see what they would do. Sayu, AD, Crow. This place called Crow, but like I'm telling you, the worst three there would be Sayu, AD, and of course the worst of all, Hall. And now I'm realizing Cleo. None of them were really good. But these would be places that would have like the worst of the worst. And I'm not saying there wouldn't be good people there. Many of my friends, like some of my closest friends still, had affiliations. But my closest friends have renounced those affiliations because they realize now, like any person does when they leave a cult, sometimes it's hard. You're so conditioned to a certain way that you need a little bit of outside perspective to be able to, look back at those skeletons in the closet and say, holy fucking shit, what the hell was I doing? Speaking of which, I'm going to continue this little tale next part.